I'm delighted now to introduce our graduation speaker, Susan Mucciarone. She is the Executive Director of Private Wealth at Glenmead, a privately owned investment and wealth management firm with approximately $40 billion in assets. Susan is also distinguished alumna of Weatherhead's MBA program, a member of Weatherhead's visiting committee, and an esteemed member of Case Western Reserve University's Board of Trustees. Above and beyond that, Susan has always been willing to support Weatherhead and our students in any way possible. Susan is a hardworking, dedicated professional that's also an authentic and kind human being. She lives the values that are most important to her. That is leadership to aspire to and replicate. Lastly, while Susan is a tremendous supporter of the school in multiple dimensions, I'm grateful to call her a dear friend. Susan, please join me at the podium.
Dean Malhotra, thank you for that gracious introduction and for inviting me to share a few remarks with this distinguished graduating class. I am honored and excited to be with you. Fellow trustees, faculty and staff, the graduating class of 2022, your friends, family, and guests, good afternoon. When Dean Malhotra invited me to speak at your graduation ceremony, I reflected on my academic experience at Weatherhead and was curious to learn more about yours. I talked with a few of you, and I enjoyed hearing your unique stories and learning that you and I chose Weatherhead for the same enduring hallmarks: its excellent reputation and programs, and its extraordinary community of support. Similarly, we were motivated by a desire to learn and grow and to expand, advance, or pivot in our careers. What I found most interesting, though, was how you talked about your personal values and that you had already connected them with your career interests and with your desire to make a difference in a leadership role. I was pleased to hear that your curriculum included an opportunity to learn about the social and emotional aspects of leadership and to examine and explore your values in the context of your career, something that was simply not available to me 40 years ago. As a result, I came to appreciate the importance of values not from my formal education, but rather through my journey over time. My early experiences came from my parents and grandparents who, as restaurant business owners, had naturally instilled in me the values of hard work, dedication, stability, self-reliance, and planning ahead. But then, life happened, as it has its way of doing, and it challenged me. It challenged my values. It tested me in ways that were unexpected and, frankly, a little scary. After completing my MBA, I had pivoted to the high-growth financial services industry and was just hitting my stride. Inside of 5 years, a team of us had built an investment product strategy from concept to $5 billion in assets. And what's more exciting, that's in 1980s dollars. But things changed when a schism in the upper ranks pushed the senior members of my team to rebuild elsewhere. They came back for me, and I chose to take the risk of joining their startup. Now, that level of uncertainty had stretched my core value of stability beyond what I had done in the past. But I went for it. The startup team was great at product innovation and sales, but as it turns out, not so great at managing the company's capital position. In time, it was clear hard work alone was not going to be enough, so I decided to move on to a more stable company with a stronger capital position. And the startup ultimately folded. The new position was an excellent fit, though, with the team on the ground floor of a new, innovative product strategy. The hidden challenge there? The strategy was sound, but the senior leader's approach to implementing was so haphazard, it caused, a morale issue and turnover to a level that affected the broader organization. For me, this served to reinforce my core value of planning and extended it to include the importance of implementation. Later then, when a former client called about a new position at a boutique investment firm in North Carolina, I headed south, right from the frying pan into the fire, as they like to say down there. Sadly, there, the founding partner, my mentor, unexpectedly fell ill and had to step down. This led the remaining partners straight to survival mode and to eliminate my position. There I was, unemployed, starting over in a new city, where the headline on my resume practically read, 4 jobs in 5 years, 4 companies in 5 years. Now, by today's standards, you might say, but that's fuel for entrepreneurs. Actually, what you'd more probably say is, okay, boomer, what's the big deal? And on the one hand, you'd be right? But this was the early 90s when loyalty, stability, and dedication were what mattered. People aspired to working 40 years at the same company, then retiring with a full pension and a gold watch. It was okay to change companies a few times, but too many, and you were tagged as unreliable or worse, dismissed out of hand. For me, the stakes were high, and my next choice had to be a rock-solid fit. The truth is, I was terrified of the personal failure that could have been associated with one more mishap. What I needed was perspective. I found it by doing what Professor Van Oosten had asked of each of you in your first semester lead course. I took the time for introspection. I took a good, hard look at the past several years, and I reflected on what really mattered. I could see how this experience had challenged and clarified my values and had supported their evolution. They had evolved and expanded with time. For example, to round out the importance of planning, I leaned into my sense of adventure, curiosity, and taking considered risk. I dialed back self-reliance a bit in favor of community and my desire to make a difference in my leadership role. I affirmed my passion for the investment business, even with its abrupt organizational changes, shifting strategies, and economic crises. Then I was ready to tap into my creativity and my determination to find my path forward. Thinking back, much like what's taking place in the world today, I can see that this experience was a great exploration for me. Through it all, I gained many insights, but most important was a deeper appreciation for the critical role values play in shaping the substance, meaning, and style of our leadership and our careers. I've been reflecting on this in the context of your Weatherhead experience. During the COVID crisis, social unrest, and the difficulties occurring now. Often, an encounter with a crisis will include within it the gift of an opportunity. We may not see it at first, but it's there, waiting for us to find it. The opportunity I see arising from you comes directly from your graduate experience during this intense, real-life, real-time period of uncertainty. Your education included the opportunity not only to learn, but to develop and to apply key, hard-skill lessons in leadership. So I ask you, how did you develop increased resiliency or flexibility? How have your values been challenged or strengthened? Or have they evolved? How did you come to understand the importance of culture, community, and authentic leadership, such as you experienced it here at Weatherhead. Your hard-won lessons in leadership, together with your understanding of the important role values play in our lives, will set you apart and elevate the quality and impact of your education and your contributions to come. And when you meet your challenges, as you surely will, you'll have a chance to hone these skills and insights to make a profound difference in your leadership. As you continue in your journey, remember, your story, your impact, your legacy will not be defined by what happens, but rather how you choose to handle it. In closing, there are many more lessons still to come for you, but here's the one I want you to especially take with you on your journey. It is the intentional practice of staying in touch with your values. Allow them to evolve. Live into them and let them be your guide. This is the path to authentic leadership, personal growth, and fulfillment in your career and indeed in your life. Many congratulations to you and the future that awaits. Thank you.